There's three ways that you can become an owner. You can earn your way there, you can buy your way there, or you can build your way there. Let me start by how you can earn your way there. This one's going to depend at which company you work at, because some companies are going to reward you or employees at the company through some sort of equity, some sort of ownership, some sort of profit share, some sort of distribution, because you are working at the company. Now, not every company does this. This is going to depend on what industry that you're in, but some companies will offer some sort of profit distribution to the employees, because now if you're working at a company and the company makes bigger profits, you might be entitled to some sort of bonus, some sort of equity, some sort of profit share. Like at Briefs Media, we offer a profit share to our employees as a bonus for helping to build an amazing financial media company. But let's assume you're like most people and your company does not offer any sort of profit distribution, any sort of profit share, any sort of equity. How can you buy your way there? Well, let's go back to what I was talking about in the beginning of this video. Your CEO has a fiduciary duty to the shareholders, and when most people think about shareholders, they're thinking about shares of companies. When you think about shares of companies, what are we talking about? Stocks. What are stocks? Stocks are publicly traded companies. These are companies that anybody can go onto the stock market and buy a piece of ownership in. For example, McDonald's is a publicly traded company. Amazon is a publicly traded company. Apple is a publicly traded company. Yeah, you can be a consumer there and buy their products, or you can also take some of your money and buy ownership in these companies. So if you buy one share, one stock of Amazon, you become one of the owners of Amazon, and you are entitled to your share of the profits because now you are one of the shareholders at Amazon. Now, of course, if you own just one share of Amazon, you're not Jeff Bezos, but you're now starting to become an owner. You're now starting to think in terms of profit. And while you don't get to tell the company what to do, you do get voting rights. And so you can participate in the decisions of the company. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to go into the Amazon headquarters. You don't have to vote, but you have the ability to do so when you become an owner. So how do you buy your way there? You can find publicly traded companies. Not every company is publicly traded, but some are, many are. Many of the biggest companies that you know of in America are, and you can buy your ownership in those companies. Let me give you a couple examples. Now, I gotta remind you, investing has risks. You're never guaranteed to make money when you invest. In fact, you will lose money at some point, so make sure you always do your own due diligence and never blindly trust a random guy on YouTube. But we just talked about how you can invest in an individual company like Amazon. If you wanted to invest in Amazon, I'm not telling you what to invest in, this is just an example. You can go to any stock brokerage. There are so many out there. Just do a quick Google search and find the one that's right for you. And if you buy one share of AMZN, this is the ticker symbol to buy the Amazon company. If you buy one share of Amazon, you become one of the owners of Amazon. But here's the problem with that for many people. You're taking on all the risk. Yes, if Amazon does great, your stock price could shoot up and you can make a lot of money. But the problem is, what happens if Amazon doesn't do a very good job? What happens if they get slapped with lawsuits and they go bankrupt? Well, now you lose everything. So more risk for more potential return. The alternative to investing in Amazon is to invest in something like a ETF or a fund. This is a basket of companies. For example, SPY or VOO, these are two ETFs that both give you exposure to the S&P 500. This is a group of the 500 largest companies in the stock market. I put an asterisk here because I'm personally invested in VOO. So now, instead of investing in just Amazon, you're investing in a fund that's giving you exposure to hundreds of companies, the 500 largest companies in the stock market, which includes Amazon, which includes Apple, which includes Microsoft, which includes McDonald's, which includes Coca-Cola. And now you don't have to worry about trying to keep up with the company and guess if this is the best company or research the company and spend all that time researching the stock. You just invest in the fund, and now you just keep buying. I call it ABB, always be buying. You follow the strategy where every week, every 2 weeks, or every month, you just keep buying no matter what, whether markets are up or down, you just keep buying for the long term. And that has been a proven strategy to win. The key is to keep buying and not to panic sell when markets go down, and to keep buying even when markets are crashing, and keep buying when markets go up, and to keep the patience because you are investing for the long term. I'm talking about years, if not decades. That's where the wealth is built. So how do you buy your way there? You find a publicly traded company. Maybe it's your company, maybe it's somebody else's company, and now you decide you want to invest in an individual stock and take on more risk for more potential return, Or do you want to invest in a fund and just invest in the American economy? Again, this is where market briefs can help you stay up to date on what's happening. Plus, you'll also get the investing masterclass, which can help you be a smarter investor. The link is for you down in the description. Or you could do number 3 is you can work to build that ownership. You can work to build that equity in a company. What does that mean? This means going out and starting a business. Now, this I kept last because this is not for most people. Because starting a business is hard, starting a business is risky, starting a business is very time consuming, and most people are not made to do it or don't want to do it and shouldn't do it. I know there's a whole culture out there of people talking about how being an employee is bad. You need to start a business so you can build wealth. Look, the reality is you don't have to go out and build the business. You can just own the business. You can just buy the business. You can just invest in the business. Now, some people are entrepreneurs. That's great, but it's not for everybody. If you are an entrepreneur, great. I love entrepreneurs because I felt like there was not that many entrepreneurs when I was getting started with my business journey. But if you want to be an entrepreneur, understand that it comes down to understanding 2 things. Number 1, you have to have a good product. And number 2, you have to have customers for your product. And then you work to create a great product, and then you find the customers for your product. Those 2 things have to marry each other. If you create a great product, but you have no customers, your business will fail. If you have great marketing, you have great advertising to get customers in, but your product sucks, your business will fail because eventually your marketing is going to stop bringing in more buyers because people are going to realize how much your product sucks. So yes, you can build your ownership as well, but understand that this is really not for everybody. This is for people that want to be entrepreneurs. There's nothing wrong with being an employee, but the key to building wealth is to turn your salary into ownership. The way you turn your salary into ownership is by not spending all of your money, taking the money that you don't spend and become an investor. Where do you go and invest that money? Well, now you can take your money and invest it into companies, into other assets. That way now you have the ownership. That way now you actually own something. You're no longer capped by your salary because now you're working for profits rather than salary. And now you are the one that's getting the profits so you can build true wealth in this economic system. If you enjoyed this clip and you want to continue your financial education journey, I have another video that I think you'll love. All you got to do is click that button right over there. And for those of you who want to stay up to date on the top finance and business news, you can join Market Briefs, my free financial newsletter, by clicking that button below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.